Slamdance interview number, I don't remember because I've been here so long, so that's probably a wonderful thing. One of my favorite interviews is happening right now. To the left of me is Walker, to the right of me is Camille, and their project is entitled I Need Your Love. Exceptional series, one of my personal favorites that I picked out. So we're going to talk to both of them, kind of a round robin thing. Walker, we're going to start off with you. One of the first things I wanted to ask you about, because your project primarily centers around Camille herself, tell me if there's any big difference between the on-screen Camille and the one we have here.
That's a great question.
Thank you.
I think the on-screen Camille is very similar to the Camille that I know, that I've known for the past 12 years. Okay. But she's just dialed, you know, so we dial her. She can definitely, in real life, dial it up to 11, but like she's just the heightened version of herself. Okay. So the highs can be a little bit higher, the lows can be a little bit lower.
Okay.
But I would say, like, in terms of just like the way that she carries herself and her personality and all that, like, it's very similar. Although I will say that, like, a lot of the content story-wise is we're pushing her character to do things that are like a little bit dubious. Sometimes she's finding herself in situations with friends that she has to, like, you know, choose herself over her friends, and not that we all don't face those situations in real life, but like we're pushing her character into like morally like murkier territory than she's going in real life, because she's very thoughtful regarding her friends and family and all those things.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you for that. Now, Camille, on the flip side, I want to ask you a question. You two have been friends for a very long time, yes? Mm-hmm. So my question to you is, we all love working with our friends. We all love the possibilities. But let's face it, we can't be in love with our friends constantly, and you just did a major project with him. Mm-hmm. So what was that experience like, especially if you have a creative difference?
Yeah, I think that we even said this like not too long ago. We were like, if this didn't break us, we're unbreakable.
Yeah.
You know? Like, if we were able to make it through this,
sure.
like I think we're in it.
Okay.
So I think that we both just have enough trust and respect for each other in order to allow each person to do what they know best. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, like if I come up, you know, in a moment of tension with Walker, creatively speaking, he will absolutely listen to me. We will absolutely talk it out. You know, if I'm like, I'm uncomfortable saying that, or I don't want to do that, or whatever, like, sure. Very much so. But I also do have so much faith and trust in his artistry and vision that to allow him to like do the things that I don't necessarily know. Sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I think the same for me. So.
Mm-hmm.
Really? No real squabbles here, huh? I'm impressed.
I mean, it's been miraculously lacking. We've had our friction here and there, we'll be honest, but like we haven't had like any of those classic like throwouts, like we're throwing things against the wall, okay. And we're walking out, we're not talking to each other. Like I've had some disastrous collaborative experiences because of differences in personality and like creative philosophy and all those things. And like we're very different people creatively and personality wise, but something about like I really appreciate the trust you have in me, that we're like, that even when you're questioning, you're like, well, is this gonna, a common question, a common conversation that we have, which is totally understandable from Camille's point of view, is like, does this make me look terrible? Does this make me look like a bad person? Is this that? Is this, you know, and we have to talk through those moments, because it's like, she's in a much more vulnerable position than I am.
Yeah.
I'm behind the camera and she's in front of the camera, and I often forget that. You know, and it's important that she brings that up to me, that she's the one that like people are seeing out there. Besides interviews like this, like no one's really seeing me, they're seeing her, since she's the face of it. And so she has to like, you know, wake up with that, and she has to encounter people who might make assumptions that like something that she does as a character is something that she would be doing in real life, which is I think something that actors everywhere face.
Yeah.
But that's something that I often have to be reminded of, and I think that our conversations around that feel pretty open and like productive. Yeah. And sometimes, you know, we change course a little bit, or sometimes we negotiate, or sometimes I'm like, no, I really believe in this, like please trust me.
Yeah.
And so it's been a really fruitful collaboration so far, and I hope that we continue to do so well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, Walker, I know that this is not your only project. Talk to me a bit about Celia.
Yes, so I shot this short film in Mexico with a close collaborator friend of mine. His name is Mauricio Sierra, who is a Mexican filmmaker who's now based out of Paris. And we shot this short as sort of a proof of concept. It was a very involved shoot and the film itself, and we shot it in Yucatan in Mexico in a very small town that was hours away from the nearest anything of significance. And like half this crew was getting sick, and all kinds of disastrous things were happening that were not my fault.
Okay. Wasn't me.
Yeah, it wasn't me. But the final product was beautiful, and I feel really good about it. It's a coming of age story. It's a magical realist story. It's a little bit like, it has elements of that kind of like E.T., kind of like a child's friendship. So it's about this little girl who has this friendship with an octopus who it may or may not be a part of her imagination. It's helping her cope with her own feelings and insecurities and things like that. So we're still working to develop that into a feature, which is a much more involved project that we need more infrastructure and probably like studio backing to make.
Gotcha.
But it was a beautiful experience, and we had a really good festival run and won some awards, and yeah.
Can people see it now?
I'm not sure if it's publicly streaming, but we're trying. I think we're hoping to get it on like a movie type place.
Okay. A movie type streaming place?
A movie type
Got it.
streaming place.
Okay.
Yes.
That was well put.
Yes.
Okay, Camille, you're in the hot seat again. All the women in the room, aka me, want to know about how you created or helped to create FemGym. Tell us about that.
Yeah.
I have me and 3 friends. We're all vocalists, the 4 of us, and just all in the same world and industry in New York City. And we were singing at a charity or a fundraiser event for AOC.
Mm-hmm.
And she was running for Congress at the time.
Okay.
And so she was just like hosting this like random music fundraiser that we were all singing at. So my friends and I were like, why don't we start a jam session? I guess we may have been inspired by just like, the incredibleness of her, I don't know, but we were just like, yeah, why don't we start something? And so we're just trying to change the dynamic of obviously an extremely male-dominated music scene, and also create a safe space for women and non-binary instrumentalists and singers, because usually it's just like the one hot singer and then the male band. So we wanted to show a space of what if we reset that, and there's a 10-piece all-women band, and that's what you see, and that's what we're starting at, and then the men can come up and jam. Sure, they can sit in.
Okay.
But this is our house. This is our territory.
Okay.
Maybe you can play if you ask nicely.
Nice.
So,
okay, wonderful. Piggyback question, because I know you are a vocalist. You are always creating. So I have to ask. You once wrote a song in a parking lot of a casino. I found that so fascinating.
Oh, right.
The look in the
I know. Did you see her look? She's like, did I really do that? Yes, because I creeped on your social media and I found that.
I love that.
So I'm curious to ask you, do you find odd creative places are better for you creatively to be able to come up with things?
Yes and no. I think that if I'm in an odd place like that, and it's always just so situational. If I'm in an odd place like that, it's like, okay, we have nothing else to do. I'm with a band. I'm with a guitarist. We're like by ourselves in the middle of Canyonville, Oregon, in a parking lot for 24 hours. Yeah. So certainly there can be that, but then also I feel like if I'm in a place like New York or LA where I'm like, I'm here to work, I'm having a session with these artists or these top liners and these producers, like I need to be in creative mode too. But I think also there's the idea of like when you are in random ass places.
That's okay. You can do ass. It's fine.
Your guard is let down a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So you can just be a little more freaky.
Yes, you can. You can do that. So, you artists out there, you can create anything, anytime, anywhere, apparently, especially if you're bored in a parking lot. We just learned that. Back to you, Walker. So, I want to talk a bit about, reverting to the film for just a second. As the director, I imagine, and based on what I've learned about this woman so far, I imagine that there's a lot of, how did you pick out which moments or lack of moments, let's say. I envision her wanting to sing and dance and literally be doing that the entire time through the entire series. So how do you learn how to limit things to satisfy the artist, but as well also stay true to the vision of the series?
I think that's another really good question. We firstly we wanted to have depict the whole point of this wasn't to be like, oh, let's just make like an extended music video or something like that, or let's just make the most glamorous like banger after banger thing. We're trying to show the experience of someone who's a working creative, a working artist, specifically a working singer-songwriter. And so that comes along with having to do a lot of sort of things that you might think are beneath you, or things that you don't dream of doing when you're a little girl aspiring to be a pop star or a singer, a successful singer, which include singing jingles for advertisements, which include being a backup singer for other people when the spotlight is a few feet to the left or the right of you. So we wanted to show a mix of the different ways in which we're, a singer like Camille is her being called upon to work, to do her work, which means being brought in by producers who may or may not have nefarious intentions with her and with her work. And I think that in our last episode, the one that we're screening here in Slamdance, the 5th episode that we shot, is really meaningful because it's finally her being able to, this is a spoiler, I'm not going to be too spoiling about it, but Camille, her character, finally gets to perform her own work. And so much of the series is her singing at weddings and all these other places, and so we're getting different flavors of when she, and a lot of it is really fun and moving, but finally when we land on oh no, this is her doing the thing this is why she gets up every day in the morning, to be able to express herself and to sing her own songs. So we wanted to just give flavors, a well-balanced 5-course meal of music rather than just hitting them with a bunch of ice cream.
I get it, I do. Now, piggyback question, you're a New York filmmaker with 4 wins under your belt right now. All of us are basically indie in one sense or another that are in this room. So give your fellow filmmakers who might be watching this some tip on what it takes to become an award-winning filmmaker in New York City, because that's rough. Yeah,
it's definitely rough. I think there's this cliche of write what you know, film what you know, and all of that, and it's kind of feels a little empty sometimes, but if you can find some meaning in that, and if you can also okay, it's expensive. It's expensive to shoot in New York. It's expensive to shoot anywhere. Everything costs money. Equipment costs money. Food costs money. Favors cost a version of money. And really think about okay, rather than saying I'm bummed out because I don't have access to a moving sports car and an arena or anything like that, really think a lot about what are the things that I do have access to. I have a friend's ex-boyfriend's dad who has a really interesting bar, that's not open on Mondays. And really think about all these and don't be shy to ask a favor and be really nice to people and be really grateful, and don't save it for the next one, because there might not be a next one. This one will help you get to the next one. So don't be if ask for the favor and ask from the bottom of your heart, and just be as kind as possible to everyone, because they're going to want to be kind back to you. So that would be my advice. Love that. I have to ask this though. Do we do guerrilla filmmaking, or we sneak on the subway? Oh yeah, 100%. Wait, should we be saying that? We're saying it. We shoot first and ask for forgiveness later. It creates tension sometimes with producers and other personnel, but our philosophy is, we don't put in, get the shot, make sure everyone is safe and sound, and get the shot, and we feel good. That's awesome. I'm liking this guy. This is awesome. Okay, Camille, twofold question for you. First of all, I want you to tell me a bit about why the look change. I swear I've seen you in 4 different hair colors. All of your outfits are different all the time, and I love that. I love that you're such a chameleon. So I wonder if you do that because it's part of your personality, or because you're very business savvy, because we all know people want to see different looks and they're attracted to that. That's question 1.
I believe in, I don't know, that's an interesting question. My initial reaction to that is like, ain't gotta get ready if you stay ready. You look hot and great all the time. You never know who you're gonna run into, sweetie.
That's true.
That's one of the things. I'm also a big believer in the theory of a ghost outfit, aka you could die at any given moment.
Oh.
And when I'm coming back to haunt people, I need to look fabulous.
I love it.
I need to look fabulous. So whatever, I'll haunt you in a fur coat, I will haunt you in a heel.
Oh my God.
So that's my
Now, is this your...
that's my life.
If we were bopping around LA, let's say 7 days a week, is this typically what Camille looks like, what we say? Like, is this
It's
kind
either
of your
this
vibe?
or just gym clothes.
Okay.
I actually have two modes. It's
Okay.
either-
It's binary.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Gotcha. Okay. Now, we also cannot not talk about your debut album. Everybody wants to know about it.
The one coming up?
The-
or the one
the-
last?
Actually, you could do both, really.
I'm working on a new project now. It's going to be a little more in the direction of retro soul, organic sounds, because that's what I've always loved.
Yeah.
But albums in the past, I wrote a full-length album over the pandemic, completely over Zoom, called New York to Florida.
Okay.
Or, sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Florida New York.
Florida.
No,
No,
it's
New York to Florida.
New York to Florida. I'm like, where are we right now? It's called New York to Florida because I went home during the pandemic. I was staying at my parents' house, wrote this whole album over Zoom, recorded it over Zoom, the technology of it all.
Yeah.
And that one was highly produced because it's like musicians weren't able to get in the room and like, record with me. So this was very much more, like with producers and things like that. This new album is much more live room sessions, capturing the organic sound.
Gotcha.
Really like locking into a vibe with the musicians to then record it and then put it on the album. So I'm very excited about that one.
Does it have a title yet?
It doesn't have a title yet.
So we're just unnamed at this moment.
We're unnamed at this.
So we're waiting for the unnamed to come
Is
out.
Desperate for Love going to be on it?
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that.
Name it
Lead single.
Jeez.
Maybe I should.
But so now we want to talk about I Need Your Love. So there's a lot to say here. I know that it had its debut the other night, so I'm curious to ask, how well did the audience receive it? How did it go?
It went really, really
Yeah, it
well.
went really well.
Very well, yeah.
I can attest the after party was pretty kick-ass as well.
The after party was fantastic.
So it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, the
So fun.
audience reaction, it was a big theater. There's 400 or 500 people in the theater.